Show us your love and support by clicking on the subscribe button and bell icon so that you don't miss any of our future videos and updates. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending upon when you're listening to this podcast. This is Kunal Sog and you have tuned into Chai Time Poetry, the second season of our very own poetry podcast, brought to you by FC Poetry Club, URF, Frowning Clown's Poetry Club. This podcast is specially designed to accompany you when you are enjoying your favorite cup of tea or an aromatic cup of coffee. If you like this podcast, please follow us on Instagram at FC Poetry Club and on YouTube at Frowning Clown. Without wasting any more time and before your cup of tea or your cup of coffee gets cold, let's take our first sip of poetry. In today's episode of Chai Time Poetry, I have with me Simran from Surat, Hemalatha from Mumbai, and Gunjan from Gurgaon, with their amazingly written poems about humanity, about ethics, and about the demons that most of us battle in our day-to-day lives. Well, let me start today's podcast by a poem that questions the ethics and values of the people of our society. A poem that talks about how we have lost kindness, humanity, and sensitivity. Well, before I discuss this poem further, let me present you this poem written by Gunjan.
Blackout Tuesday or Burnout Wednesday. Both would have cried before the last breath got in. Both would have pleaded for mercy to sneak in. The minds of few untamed men concluding two ridiculous shows as a jerk in their instincts or a testimony of their prowess. One resisted the corpse, the other was hungry, but their butchers were nonetheless pity. They did a crime that's difficult to forget. Nothing can be done now except regret. A bill of dollars or a pineapple to treat. What's the excuse for man's horrendous deed? Mankind is no more kind, neither it sees. A man or an elephant we kill to please. Boundaries do not matter. Culture is irrespective. When we are shameless and of course insensitive.
Whenever I listen to this poem, I get the flashes of the news that I had read or seen about this dreadful incident. These incidents truly make me question if there is any humanity or any emotion that's left in this world, or are we just living a mechanical life, caring only and only about ourselves? Well, let's ask Gunjan what is it that she wants to convey through this poem.
What inspired me to write the poem Blackout Tuesday or Burnout Wednesday are the two incidents that happened within the same week. One is in United States about George Floyd and racism. The second incident happened in Kerala, India, about a pregnant elephant who was given a pineapple full of firecrackers to eat. And they both disturbed me so much as a poet and as a very emotional person, you can say. I was feeling helpless and so much depressed that only after writing this poem gave me little bit of relief. And I just hope and pray that none such incident happens in future ever again. Thank you.
Yes, I hope that no such incidents happen in our future again. I hope that we improve as a society and try and be less selfish and more accepting and caring towards others. Gunjan, please continue writing such poems as they will help us take this conversation ahead and help us improve our society. Well, talking about humanity reminds me of a poem written by Simran. You know, a poem where she talks about the dawn with a pinch of darkness and the stillness of a battle that we all are fighting day in and day out. Without wasting any more time, let's hear this poem by Simran.
Morning it was, rather still dawn. Dawn with a pinch of darkness and half a bottle of humanity. I assure you, the battle is pretty real. I wish I could fill the other half. I wish I could pinch off the off humanity. I wish I could uncover the stratified humanity too. I wish I could prove my bit as a bit and not as nothing. That dawn, with a pinch of darkness, got smeared with vulnerability of hope. That dawn, the dankened buds and dewed leaves bloomed an extra inch. That dawn, my transcending dreams too danced, waved, and swayed along the whooshing breeze, unraveling the invisible constellations of my existence, whipping off my constant search for existing when I gauged the risk of being in proximity with yet another celestial body, the moon. It was not too far, not too near, just where I wish it to be, in my heart.
This poem is so imaginative and so well written. To me, this poem is all about hope and courage that we all need to have when we come face to face and when we experience a dawn that's accompanied by a pinch of darkness. Well, let's ask Simran what inspired her to write this imaginative and beautiful piece.
The poem is about my love for moon and the way it soothes, along with all the current situations in mind, the virus outbreak, cyclones, earthquakes. I think peace should be given another chance if we bring back humanity. Considering all these thoughts, I wrote this poem.
Well, only if we could bring back humanity. And yes, the battle is real, and we all are fighting it every single day. Thank you so much, Simran, for this amazingly written poem. But you know what? Talking about this situation and listening to this poem reminds me of all the mental health problems, such as depression, that many of us might be going through. Let me share with you all a very well narrated and a very well written poem by Hemalatha. This poem is so well written and so well narrated that once you all hear it, I'm sure all of you will be able to relate with it. So let's hear this poem by Hemalatha.
They talk to you, they soothe you, and soon enough they write you a prescription, one that tames the demon, depression. Months go by, waves of happiness lash on your shore. The prescription is withdrawn, and a new demon emerges, withdrawal. Emotions everywhere, overflowing. I need a jar to catch them in and close the lid. But there isn't a jar so huge, so I spend afternoons working and crying. No explanation why. Old fears pop their heads up, filling days with anxiety, self doubt galore, and questions of, am I worthy of love? Am I enough for you? Dance on my lips. Vulnerability touching my every curve, sensitivity laughing at my every nerve, everything being a trigger, I began to lose myself. Moist pillows and sleepless nights for weeks together, clueless when this frenzy would ever end. I stayed on the road, telling myself it will pass. I rejoiced on small milestones and wrote mood logs, isolated from loved ones to bounce back. I borrowed strength from music. I lied in the cushion of poetry. I flew in the structure of routine. I leaned on to the patience of my lover. I giggled in the laughter of my friends. I relied on the nudge of my family. I found a spell to kill this dementor of withdrawal. It was me, my sparkle, my endurance, standing on the other side, shining in the light, wand in hand. The magic wand of art and creation, the magic wand of courage and patience. I have walked away from 2 demons. I have come so far. I must be a shooting star. Or I am just a girl with the magic wand of art and creation, the magic wand of courage and patience.
Well, let me assure you all that we all have the magic wand with us that Hemalatha is talking about. It might just be invisible, but trust me, it's there. Believe in it and use it to fight depression or to fight anxiety, and I'm sure you will soon start believing in magic and the magic of life. By the way, Hemlatha, thank you so much for this beautiful poem. I would like to know what made you write this.
What inspired me to write this poem is the journey of the past 9-10 months. I was going through depression because I had been through a trauma, and after that I was dealing with the withdrawal of antidepressant. So it is that journey that I basically wanted to write about. And on days it seemed like things got crazier, as I stopped the medicine, and I stopped it because I began to feel better and do better, and then began a whole other story of dealing with the withdrawal. And there were days when it seemed like, oh my god, this is just getting crazier by the minute. And it would feel like I can't even be myself. But I think the one thing that really helped me is just knowing that everything, all of this is just temporary and it will pass, and just taking one moment at a time. And also in this time, I think in the month of May, when I was really having a hard time, like everything had literally become a trigger for me. Like anything anyone would say, do, would just like bring out bouts of tears, and I could never explain okay what happened. So there was a day when I was feeling very off, and I decided to tune in to watch Harry Potter. And the movie The Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite movie. So there's a scene in the film where Harry faces the Dementor all by himself with the wand, and the very next moment in time travel, he realizes that it was he himself who saved him, and nothing else or no one else saved him. It was him. So that visual kind of really strongly stuck with me, that no matter what, I will make it through this, and I'm sure for myself that it's okay, that whatever it is, it's okay. And I think it's important to talk about these things and journeys like these, because many a times all of us walk through life going through all these things and barely anyone ever knows, yeah, we the strength in us often never lets people around us know that there is actually something very deep going on within us. So I think it's important to talk about these journeys, because they are milestones in life, and yeah, they must be shared and spoken of, and hence I wrote the girl with the magic wand. So yeah.
More power to you, Hemlatha. It takes a lot of courage to A, fight depression, and B, talk about it. And I hope all the people who are listening to this podcast today get inspired by your story and fight depression with all the magic, courage, and strength that they have. Well, that's all in today's episode of Chai Time Poetry. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed creating this podcast for you. Let us know if you like us as your Chai Time companion. Hope to see you again next time with some more amazing poetries and with another comforting cup of tea or coffee. But till then, I urge you to please follow us on Instagram at FC Poetry Club and subscribe to our YouTube channel Frowning Clown, because it's free of cost. Please do comment and let us know how you like this podcast, and do not forget to like and share. And until I meet you next time, please keep smiling and let the clown do the frowning. Bye-bye.